Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. India versus NDA. That's how the opposition wants to position the battle for 2024. NDA allies meeting in the capital at this time. How does the Indian voter perceive the NDA formation and the opposition alliance? We'll bring you the results of the C-Voter political stock exchange on these alliances which are being built up, and that's my top focus on the Newstrack.
India versus NDA. (38 versus 26). Who has the edge in 2024? Alliance war decoded. Biggest opinion poll, political stock exchange at 8 p.m.
Here's a look at the headlines today. UPA renamed the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance. Opposition leaders declare India will defeat the NDA in 2024. Prime Minister Modi's scathing attack on opposition unity says it is family first, not India first for the opposition parties.
फ्लाइट कुछ है, हाल कुछ है, लेबिल कुछ है, माल कुछ है। 24 के लिए 26 होने वाले राजनीतिक दलों पर ये बड़ा फिट बैठता है।
Court grants 2-day interim bail to Brajbhushan Singh in the wrestler's sexual harassment case. Regular bail plea to be heard on Thursday. Another twist in the Seema Haidar love story. It is now revealed that her brother works for the Pakistani army and that she had multiple passports. Chandrayaan-3 successfully performs the third orbit-raising maneuver. India's moon mission is on schedule. The UPA is now INDIA, Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance. Sources say it was Rahul Gandhi who proposed this name at the meeting of 26 opposition parties in Bengaluru. There is, however, no clarity over the seat-sharing formula or over who will lead this alliance. UPA is the past, but will India be the future? Our National Affairs Editor Rahul Srivastav and Mausmi Singh with our top story tonight.
A giant stride by what was once a fractious opposition. 26 parties from the BJP camp across India co-opt India for their new nomenclature.
Earlier, we worked with UPA. Now, with all 26 parties, a new name is given, that is Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance.
India, an acronym for the Indian National Development Inclusive Alliance. Insiders say the naming of what's officially now a unified coalition of 26 parties was proposed by Congress leader Rahul Gandhi.
The fight is about two different ideas of India. And while we were having this discussion, this name frankly emerged from the discussion because we asked ourselves, what is the fight? Who is the fight between? And we realized the fight is not between two political formations. The fight is a fight to defend the idea of India.
The sun sets on the UPA, the United Progressive Alliance, which ruled the country from 2004 to 2014. The day dawns on the Indian National Development Inclusive Alliance, or INDIA, which seeks to unseat the BJP-led NDA in 2024. The formalized opposition alliance will have its own secretariat in the national capital.
And what we are doing here as a group is we are defending the Indian Constitution. We are defending the voice of the Indian people. We are defending the idea of our great country, the idea of India.
TMC leader Mamata Banerjee, former Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray also emphasized the metaphor in the new name.
इंडिया जीतेगा, भाजपा हारेगा. भारत जीतेगा, भाजपा हारेगा.
तानाशाही के खिलाफ जनता इकट्ठा हो रही है. कुछ लोगों को ऐसे लग रहा है कि परिवार के लिए लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं. हाँ, देश हमारा परिवार है और इस परिवार के लिए हम लड़ रहे हैं. देश ही हमारा परिवार है.
The India coalition will next meet in Mumbai. An 11-member coordination committee will then be set up to chalk out future course of action, including seat sharing, campaign plans and the leadership issue.
सीट शेयरिंग को लेके एक बड़ा मसला है कि आप लोग सीट शेयरिंग कैसे करेंगे और प्रधानमंत्री इसको करप्ट अलायंस घोषित कर रहे हैं कि नेशनल करप्ट अलायंस.
देखिए, ये कोई बड़ी बात नहीं. मैंने कहा कि 11 लोगों की कमेटी जो बना रहे हैं उसमें ये सब डिस्कशन होगा और सीट शेयरिंग तो एक हो जाएगा. जहाँ जहाँ कैसा करना ये हमारे अभी सभी नेता लोग मिलके और कमेटी मिलके वो तय करेगी. उसकी कोई बड़ी बात नहीं.
The unified opposition perches on the plank of economic development and inclusivity as it prepares to fight the mighty BJP in the Lok Sabha elections due next year.
इन्होंने इकोनॉमी बर्बाद कर दी, इन्होंने रेलवे बर्बाद कर दी, सारे एयरपोर्ट बेच दिए, इन्होंने जहाज बेच दिए, आसमान बेच दिया, धरती बेच दी, पाताल बेच दिया, सब कुछ इन्होंने अपने लोगों को बेच दिया. कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी. आज देश में हर आदमी दुखी है.
An initiative of the Bihar Chief Minister and his deputy spanning months. An array of opposition parties seems to have cemented their strained ties at Bengaluru. Over now to Mumbai for how they can take the lines forward.
Well, the opposition leaders could pat their back for finalizing India as the name of the mega alliance. But the biggest challenge is that how would you get India to rally against Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Perhaps the next meeting in Mumbai could spell out the contours and in fact give a clearer picture, but it's easier said than done. With video journalist Dalveer Singh, this is Mosmi Singh in Bengaluru for India Today.
Meanwhile, a crucial NDA meeting is also underway in the capital. 37 parties under the leadership of the BJP have come together to prepare their battle plan for the next year election. Prime Minister Modi set the tone for the mega poll clash by launching a blistering attack at the united opposition, branding their meeting Kattar Bhrashtachari Sammelan, or a meeting of hardcore corrupt parties.
A larger NDA is rising. If the opposition was uniting in Bengaluru, in New Delhi, an NDA revival was taking place. 37 political parties got together under the leadership of the BJP to brainstorm ahead of the 2024 elections. The timing of the NDA huddle not lost on anyone. It came just an hour after the united opposition meet concluded and posed a scathing attack by the Prime Minister, who labelled the Bengaluru meeting a convention of corrupt dynasts.
ये लोग कितने चेहरे लगाकर बैठे हैं. जब ये लोग कैमरे के सामने एक फ्रेम में आ जाते हैं तो पहला विचार देश के सामने क्या आता है? पहला विचार देश के लोगों के मन में यही आता है, पूरा फ्रेम देख करके देशवासी यही बोल उठता है, लाखों करोड़ों रुपए का भ्रष्टाचार. इन परिवारवादियों का मंत्र है of the family, by the family, for the family. Family first, नेशन नथिंग, इन लोगों का मोटो है, इनकी यही प्रेरणा है। नफरत है, घोटाले हैं, तुष्टीकरण है, मनकाले हैं। परिवारवाद की आग के दशकों से देश हवाले हैं।
The Prime Minister also declared that NDA was a time-tested alliance which sought to further national progress. The NDA revival has been in the works for some time now and got a boost on Monday with Chirag Paswan returning to the fold.
जब गठबंधन होता है वो मंत्री बनने के लिए तो नहीं होता, कम से कम खासतौर पर मैं जिस परिवार से आता हूं, मेरे लिए मंत्री बनना या मंत्री पद वो मायने नहीं रखता। मैंने अपने नेता, अपने पिता आदरणीय रामविलास पासवान जी को निरंतरता में देखा है, तो मैं समझता हूं कि मंत्री पद एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है।
Now the stage is set for State of War 2024.
It is now clear that the fight for 2024 will be a battle of alliances. While the opposition is yet to get clear its seat-sharing formula or even the face that will lead the coalition, the NDA is clear that they're going to fight the 2024 elections on the Prime Minister's name. Now, who gets the right combination of arithmetic and chemistry? That India will decide. With Himanshu Mishra and Aishwarya Paliwal, Polami Saha in Delhi for India Today.
So it's NDA versus India. We have some questions put out by Sea Voter as part of their tracker poll. We'll put them out in a moment, but I want to spend a moment on the battle of the acronyms. NDA, the National Democratic Alliance, versus India, where you've got Indian, you've got national, you've got developmental, you've got inclusive, and you've got alliance. Is that an idea that can catch on, or is NDA way too formidable for these acronyms to have any role? Joining us on this broadcast, representing the ruling BJP at the centre, it's spokesperson Guru Prakash Paswan. Manikram Tagore is a member of parliament and a spokesperson of the Congress party. For perspective, I have well-known political analyst Ashok Malik, Rahul Verma, Centre for Policy Research. He's a fellow there. Yashwant Deshmukh has done the poll. We'll have the results out in just a moment. And joining me from Bengaluru will be our political editor, Rahul Srivastav. Ashok Malik, I come to you first. As a political observer, India, there is, I mean, a bit of a ring there. Now, it's an idea. Whether you can get the idea to catch on or not, that's stage two. But do you think they've at least made the right noise and given the low expectations from the opposition parties? They put out what they could in terms of an idea that they think can catch on?
Look, India as an acronym is certainly an intelligent acronym. They've ensured they're going to get headlines tomorrow morning because it is catchy. Acronyms always have an impact. But having said that, Rahul, with due respects, people don't vote for coalitions. They don't vote for the NDA. They don't vote for India. They don't vote for UPA. They vote for either parties or individuals. In the case of the 24 election, you're either going to vote for Modi and whoever Modi is endorsing in your constituency, or you're going to vote against Modi. That is also possible if you, for some reason, you don't like him. So, to be honest, the acronym is intelligent and smart, but beyond the point, it's not going to catch on. It doesn't need to catch on. For
Rahul Verma, a smart, intelligent acronym maybe, but not necessarily an idea that can catch on, because it takes much more than an acronym to get somebody to vote for you. Do you think in what could have been expected, they've been able to make the move that they could have, Rahul?
No, I completely agree with Ashok Malik on this. You know, people do not vote for alliances, they vote for political parties. See, I think if you are an opposition party supporter or a sympathizer at the moment, what you can take away from these two meetings, first in Patna and Bangalore, that at least they are showing more seriousness than last time. In the run-up to 2019 polls. So at least there are meetings taking place, they're trying to sort out issues and on things that could have led to bickering between political parties. There is some giveaway from each of these players. Congress is saying that they're not in the race for PM. They have agreed to, back Aam Aadmi Party's protest on centre's ordinance. So in the run-up to 2024, I think many more such meetings will take place, which will iron out some of the differences. It's a good beginning, but there is a very, very long road to travel for the opposition to even put up a formidable challenge to
Let me
BJP.
put that question then to Manikram Tagore of the Congress Party. An acronym may be smart by itself, it means nothing. There are too many serious issues about how seats will get distributed amongst these opposition parties. Till those issues get resolved, you can come up with catchwords and buzzwords and acronyms, but you won't change voting behavior. Let's start from there. Manikram Tagore.
Thank you. I want to correct it. There is no Rao in my name. I'm only Manikam Tagore. Second is that...
that's what I called you.
About...
but anyway,
very important thing is that the 26th... No, I'm Manikam Tagore. I'm not Rao. Main thing is that it is the 26 parties has come together on a platform for to fight against the hatred. The hatred which has deeply rooted into Indian society now, and Mr. Modi and Amit Shah are leading that with a aggressive polarizing issues they are taking up. Therefore, the 26 parties are taking on the issues. We are common on many issues, and we have some kind of seat related issues and others, but as 26 parties are first, when we worked in the parliament, 24 parties were together in the parliament for around 2.5 years. We had been in the floor in both the houses. We had been working together. Now it has, first was the Patna meet, then the second was the Bengaluru summit, and we are able to now for an India, we had come out with the name India for the alliance. And this alliance is going to be a formidable alliance, and we are able to start with through the Bengaluru thing itself, we are able to start in a progressive way.
Okay. Guru Prakash Paswan, they weren't expected to do seat adjustments in this meeting. Given that the NDA said and the BJP said, inse kuch nahi hoga, at least they've come up with a name. The name is catchy, and they're going with some kind of a perspective which ultimately the voters will decide on. But to the extent that they could, they've shown that they're beginning to come together. Is that something which concerns you?
Rahul, I don't think why is there an element of surprise today, especially in a section of media. It's an old wine in a new bottle. Like all of us, you senior journalists on this panel would remember that senior leader of the Congress party, Devkant Barua, has used a similar adage. He said, Indira is India, India is Indira. So the Congress party have never thought twice before using the name of India as a tool for political leverage. This is not for the first time that the Congress party is trying to take political advantage out of it. But we must understand here that the people who were sitting in the meeting, Lalu Yadav, whose daughter Misa Bharti, Lalu Yadav took a pran ki Misa, the act which was enacted during Emergency Maintenance of Internal Security Act, ki main Congress ko hara karke hi dam lunga. TMC, Mamata Banerjee, she has come out of the Congress party. Everyone, the only common thread that unites the opposition leader is corruption and family politics. Right from Jammu and Kashmir to Tamil Nadu, you see it is the father and son enterprise and nothing beyond that. This shows the poverty of imagination of the opposition parties. They have no solid agenda. What is their idea of India? Their idea of India is bereft of Dalits. While the Congress leadership was speaking on the stage in Bangalore, young protesters from Dalit community, they were protesting on the streets of Raipur in Chhattisgarh without any dress. They were protesting on the streets of Chhattisgarh. They are not talking about Rajasthan. Democracy is being murdered in Bihar. Democracy is being murdered in West Bengal. So the only common thread that is uniting the entire opposition is the lust for power. That is the only uniting common thread that was visible
now,
today.
Rahul Srivastava, you were in Bengaluru, you tracked this meeting all the way through. What stood out for you as key highlights? What did you pick up the andar ki khabar which we haven't seen on the headlines so far? Did there seem to be some sense of bonhomie, or was there a lot of bickering and distrust?
Rahul, I have seen coalition formations since 1989. And I think this is the first time there is a certain palpable feeling of threat, which I have not seen earlier, that the Narendra Modi factor has become so consuming for these political parties that they feel that despite their differences, their need to come together is really burning right now. So much so, when do you recall, Rahul, in the last several years, Mamata Banerjee mentioning Sitaram Yechuri and D. Raja, CPM and CPI. Last few years, every time she mentions their names is to attack them politically. She did mention, that's a step back. Now it may not sound like something very big. I spoke to Sitaram Yechuri after the meeting and he said something very interesting, Rahul. He said that these alliances and seat sharing and other arrangements will be discussed at the state level. Means each state can come up with, it will be a national picture, but each state coordination unit will come up with its own combinations. So I asked him about Bengal. So he very clearly said in Bengal it is going to be a TMC versus the BJP versus the Congress and the left alliance. So I said, then where is the alliance? So he said something yet more interesting. He said the idea would be to minimize the conflict, minimize the contest between the participating players as far as this 26-party alliance is concerned. What it really means that each player in its own area of influence is going to take on to the BJP. If there is no contest between the other constituents, then that person takes on the BJP. So in Bengal, a divided house. In UP, perhaps Akhilesh Yadav gets some bit of advantage with Congress and others helping him. But the real challenge, Rahul, what I found in this is that a lot of leaders are discussing Congress. What they are talking about, that out of the 330 seats in North and Northwest India, NDA won 298, BJP won 255, and barring UP and a couple of states, Congress is the main rival. So eventually the Congress has to come up. The Congress to pull it up, it may have moved a little more to the pivot of being the pivot of this grand alliance. But the problem here is that all these parties, when they come, they may not be able to help the Congress as much as the Congress can actually help them. I think it's going to be a very difficult alliance to...
So what happens next, Rahul? When are they planning to meet? Where will that meeting be held? Will they try and appoint a convener? How are they thinking about having a common minimum program, or do they just keep it fluid?
Yes, Rahul, quick answers to all of them. One, this alliance, interestingly, the initial proposal was not India, it was We for India, which eventually it seems that it came from the Rahul Gandhi's back team. It has come up with the idea and it was pushed here and everybody took it. Second, the next meeting is in Bombay, the date is to be fixed. Mumbai, the date is yet to be fixed. There is going to be no prime ministerial face. Most of the participants I spoke to off record, and Sitaram Yechuri and D. Raja on record have said there is going to be no face, it's going to be a collective effort. A convener is in the works, they will have to decide who it will be, but they don't want to rush it in because there could well be problems. They want to gauge who is feeling what, and there are going to be state level coordination meetings very soon. They are going to have people who will lead them, and each state will start having meetings for campaign, for seat sharing and all those follow-ups. So one little step forward taken, a big giant leap for hope for the opposition parties. But yes, I think a lot of task needs to be done.
On our screen right now, images from the Ashoka Hotel where the NDA partners are meeting. Now remember, the NDA partners are more in number, but if you look at the vote share and seat share of some of these parties, that's actually very small. So while you've got the BJP, which is the mega party in that NDA alliance, quite a few of the parties. So you got the BJP, the Shiv Sena faction, the Lok Jan Shakti party, which has 6 MPs, the NCP, which has 5 MPs on the side of Ajit Pawar. The rest of them, the AIDMK, the NDPP, the RLP, the AGSUP, the MNF, NPF, some of the northeastern parties are 1 MP each, and a lot of them have no MPs. The PMK, the AGF, the BPF, the AINRC, a lot of these are really, really small parties with a very small fraction of the vote shares. Let me put that question to Guru Prakash Paswan, that if you leave aside the first few parties, and primarily just the BJP, the Shiv Sena faction, NCP faction and the LJP, the others are very, very small parties. You are making it seem as if it's 38 versus 26. अरे सर वो नीचे वाली parties का तो 0, 1, 1, 0 ऐसे करके seat share है, and vote share also is a fraction.
No, Rahul, I think you can say the same thing for Rashtriya Janata Dal as well. Rashtriya Janata Dal, that is being pitched as the most important ally of the opposition group. They have 0 MPs. They have 0 member of parliament in Lok Sabha. Can you believe that? Rashtriya Lok Dal, Jayant Chaudhary, how many MPs do they have? They have similar numbers. We have to understand one thing, no party is small or big in a democracy. National Democratic Alliance today completed 25 years of its successful existence. When NDA took birth, former Prime Minister Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji said, Gathbandhan Dharma. Even a coalition or an alliance is akin to Dharma for us. We have experience of running a government with more than 25 political parties, though were ideologically polar opposites. We had Farooq Abdullah ji, we had Mamta Didi, we had N. Chandrababu Naidu in that alliance. So we have to understand here that at 25 years of National Democratic Alliance, which has been a most successful experiment in the history of Indian politics. And together, I think even today, you look at the figure in the Lok Sabha, more than 320 member of parliament NDA has in the Lok Sabha, which single-handedly BJP has 303, which shows that the people of India have made up their mind for giving stable verdict, which we saw in 2014, which we saw even bigger mandate in 2019, which we are increasingly seeing in states as well. So I think every political party has a role to play. Everyone is a relevant stakeholder.
Okay.
Be it a Suhail Dev Bharatiya Samaj Party in Uttar Pradesh, be it Chirag Paswan, be it Pashupati Paras, everyone has a significant role to play in a democracy, Rahul.
So I want to come now to some of the questions from that political stock exchange tracker with Yashwant Deshmukh of Seep Voter, who joins us. And the question is, if Rahul Gandhi doesn't get relief, who amongst the opposition parties is best suited to be the face of this opposition? Remember, this is the question. Now let's see what respondents are saying in this Seep Voter tracker. Surprisingly and interestingly, Priyanka Gandhi, who isn't really being projected in any real form as the Congress's face, she comes out on top at 33% of the respondents saying they'd like to see Priyanka as the face of the opposition. Nitish Kumar comes in at 14%, which is also the number of respondents who are backing Arvind Kejriwal, and Mamta Banerjee comes in 4th at 10%. So let me put this question to Yashwant Deshmukh. Priyanka is not even in the fray in the Congress's reckoning as the leader of the party. Your survey projects her at the top. What do you make of that? And Nitish Kumar and Kejriwal seem to have the same kind of rating when it comes to who could be the face if not Rahul Gandhi. Yashwant Deshmukh.
Well, Rahul, it is very clear that all this opposition, effort cannot be a fruit unless Congress is in the center of this game and the Congress leadership becomes the center of the leadership. You can replace Priyanka Gandhi even with Mallikarjun Kharge, it is possible. But the thing is that overall, not just the opposition voters, overall also people genuinely believe that if the opposition has to contest, needs a face, it has to be with Congress in the center, and it has to be a Congress face that needs to be projected as the leader of that alliance. Look into the opposition supporters, Rahul, 37%. That's even a bigger number in that way. And Nitish Kumar and Arvind Kejriwal, okay, significant number is there, but I guess that their numbers are coming in primarily from the areas where they have the effective presence in their own way. Congress remains the only party which has a pan-India presence as far as the opposition parties are concerned. So I am not at all surprised. In fact, I have been saying this all along that this effort will be useful only if Congress plays the central role and the Congress leadership, no matter what which phase that is, the Congress leadership, plays the central role. And Rahul, just to remind everybody that see how much impact the presence of Sonia Gandhi has done. Everybody is talking about it, that Sonia's presence over there has made a lot of difference. The kind of gravity that it has given to that entire meeting that is going along over there. So I'm not surprised. I'm not at all surprised with you.
Okay, let me show our viewers the response to that question about Sonia Gandhi since you just mentioned it. This is about whether Sonia Gandhi's presence makes a difference. And in response to that, you are right that a lot of people seem to believe that Sonia Gandhi's presence does make a difference. Will Sonia Gandhi's efforts strengthen what's happening? 51% of the overall respondents say yes. Amongst opposition supporters, 63% say her presence makes a difference. Is this something, Rahul Verma, that surprises you? The ratings that Priyanka Gandhi has got at 33% of the overall respondents saying she should be projected as the face of the opposition. She isn't really active in the Congress's scheme of things in the way the party is being run at the moment.
No, it's not surprising. See, you are absolutely right that Sonia Gandhi is not in the contention. But in public memory, these politicians loom large. Even when Manmohan Singh was not in contention after 2014 till 2019, if you ask who should be the next Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh used to get some numbers. And especially when you get just for the Congress voters, Manmohan Singh's ratings would go up. Similarly, for Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he used to come, his name used to come in the polls even till 2009 or 2010, right? So these sort of politicians loom large over public memory, and of course, Sonia Gandhi brings much more gravitas to the opposition meeting. Her presence there brings much more.
Ashok Malik, Priyanka Gandhi coming out on top. Is that surprising for you? Do you think this might actually be an idea that helps the opposition? Or would it actually help Prime Minister Modi and the BJP that aur koi nahi mila second dinist ko liya? You're on mute, I think. Ashok, you're on mute.
But yeah, I think there are two reasons why Priyanka Gandhi's name got mentioned, because Congress is the party with the largest footprint geographically among the opposition parties, and obviously it simply scores the highest, its leader will score the highest. I don't believe the opposition will put up a face, because the moment it puts up a face, whoever the face is, the contradiction between the credibility of that face and the popularity and appeal of Mr. Modi will come to the fore. I think they will try and de-link this election to the degree possible from a presidential contest.
Who's best suited to be convener?
Look, obviously somebody who all the parties trust, not somebody from the CPM, because Trinamool won't trust that the convener.
So is there anyone who's deemed trustworthy enough by everyone according to you?
You know, the market is really out for a new generation, Harkishan Singh Surjit or Chandrasekhar. I don't think they exist anymore.
Rahul Srivastav, is there anyone who seems trustworthy enough, since trust is such a thing which is very difficult to define? Is there anyone who's trustworthy enough for everyone?
See, Rahul, if you actually Man ki baat agar puchenge to I can count at least 15 or 20 of them. But the key factor is that if you see the initial movement and the attempts to get Arvind Kejriwal, two people have played very significant role. That is Mamata Banerjee from behind, but Nitish Kumar, it could well be. Remember, he has the backing of somebody like Arvind Kejriwal, Mamata Banerjee and others. Also, Lalu Prasad Yadav, his current partner in the Mahagandbandhan in Bihar, is keen that he should take the national platform and leave the space open for Tejasvi Yadav.
So, Nitish Kumar just seems more amenable and more affable than most others, just at this moment, but that's from the outside. Now, dil mein kya hai, that we don't know for the time being. Manikram, Tagore, your sense of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra coming out at 33% of overall respondents, 37% of opposition supporters pushing for her over everybody else. So, there is no Mallikarjun Kharge in that list. Nitish Kumar is at 14, Arvind Kejriwal is at 14, Mamata Banerjee at 10 and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra at 33.
Congress supporters and opposition supporters sees Priyanka ji as a potential candidate, and we are there is a leadership, potential leadership in the Congress party and in the opposition ranks. We need to understand it. But when we are going to work with other parties, we don't want to get into that topic now. We wanted to go with the issues on which the country is suffering. We want the issues to be discussed more than the personalities.